Hello everybody and welcome back to another day of Counter-Strike here at the Exort Series 2, where we're facing or seeing Ruby taking on the likings of Fluffy Gangster here in this best of 3 series. Both teams having a little bit of a questionable start to begin things. Of course, we can all kind of agree on the fact that Fluffy Gangster, of course, previous season picking themselves up a victory. They're obviously going to want to try and replicate exactly that, but playing with their coach is definitely not something that's going to help with that. Link it out once more joining them, and now against Ruby, which have also faced some major changes going into this event. It's going to be all pretty interesting to take a look at. Speaking of Link it out, he's getting a double to begin with. First times I saw him, I'm quite a bit shaky, but as he progresses to play with the team more, he's actually been finding himself a sweet plays into, maybe. Chance to get swapped into the main team for real, who knows? Friday. Triple kill will be found, make it 4. Already up for the ace here. Doesn't know where the final player is, but maybe a flank through the cave that is predictable. Gonna be tracking it! Oh, Kaide! An ace of a lifetime. And he finds himself the defuse as well. That's ridiculous coming through for Ruby. You're going to find it as well. That is crazy. That should not have been. That's what we know. The fact it's found, it's just huge. With that, nothing really to worry about. Crazy work. And a good-looking start for the side of Ruby to begin with here on the CT side. Force in for Fluffy Gangsters, as they did in fact get themselves the bomb plant. They're trying to move their way through the smoke here on middle. There's flashes. Sending them in, and P9 up close, taking a 2-piece. And a double to follow up. Makes it 4. Yumriata is down low. It's going to be him falling as well. Ruby taking a quick leading position here. Speaking of the maps, of course, that we're going to see, Ancient, Nuke, and then Anubis to potentially go as a decider. Looked into every map that they've played this current season for both teams, and Dust 2 was banned by Fluffy Gangsters, not playing at a singular time. Ruby banned Inferno, not playing at a singular time. Also, Inferno, a pretty decent map for Fluffy Gangsters, so that's definitely something they're going to be looking at. Fluffy Gangsters picking away Ancient. It's also played a lot by Ruby, but they've yet to win it this season, so that was probably the reason why Fluffy Gangsters thinking they could get away with that one. Apparently the beginning not looking that good. Nuke then by Ruby has been played every single time, while Fluffy Gangsters has played none of that this season. And for Anubis, that is the only map that was then left over for the likings of Ruby that they didn't play. They won on Vertigo against Viperio, they won on Mirage against Viperio, but they're choosing Anubis, a map that previous season was their wild card. Now, of course, with their coach and everything, going into that decider, you're playing up against the Ruby, which is definitely likely to get that one into their side as well. So the veto is very much in the favor of Ruby here, with the Nuke on paper looking like it's not even going to be possible for the side from Fluffy Gangsters, and already a start like this on Ancient, proving us why they're definitely happy with the way things have turned out. A timeout getting used, so I feel like Fluffy Gangsters want to try and switch some things up. For the most part, though, there is definitely some up-and-coming things here, of course, with this Fluffy Gangsters going through. They're going to have a chance at taking it back. There's definitely going to be some more strategical aspect added on top. Now with the full buy rounds as well, you're going to have a little bit better of a chance to take it. Improving from the get-go is a requirement. Good kill from Kaide to begin with, and free found for Ruby. Was a frag taken towards the mid side, so Fluffy Gangsters, they're dying alone. already giving some concerns. That is an acceleration part into the B side. Yumyata tries to. Taking it back in Forkies. That isn't even the one getting that kill. Right, they did good work already. Once more, a triple in this round. Make it 4. He's been on an ace. A 4K, or a 3K rather. And now having himself 4 kills again. Maybe another ace. Maybe just do it. Kaide is on 14 kills. 2 aces, 1 4K. Ridiculous work from Kaide. Out here. Can continue to go. Dominant as it is. Sure, with pistols you can also work, and John definitely has the capability of finding a great time in double kill found. Acceleration could be there into Donut. So Wally already tagged down low. This is becoming a tough position. And they've managed to find themselves the site. Bomb's gone down. And the retake will be required. But not to be. They're going to be saving and playing for the next round. The Gangsters taking it. Rounds found, and so instantaneously that pause has officially been able to be used to their advantage with it as well. Starting to strike at least some concerns for the Ruby side, potentially being on the brink of losing their own economy now. Things could start to get a little dicey. Good shot from Moon. Finds Yumyata to begin with. And they're trying to switch things up a little bit, which is, on one hand, quite nice. On the other hand, you kind of feel like there's something to go for. Into the Ruby side. Aggression. Originally hit up by his own teammate there, or through the wall rather. Skyday doing good work. He's already died himself one time. So not going to go for the love game on his side. The perfect game. No one dying, or with him not dying. That's not been something he's had the capability to work with. On top. Heaven getting cleared. John will fall. Trying to go from Heaven to the A side. That should soon be recognized, but no one from the Ruby side is yet rotating around, so this is going to be an A side nice and truly taken. CT already getting peeked. I think Moon has seen them. So it might cause some problems to strike. Certainly when it's scoped up and ready. Walks out with his knife. I can't believe it. Up close Desmond. Waiting for the op. Twin coming out. Headshot found. Ruby taking their 5th. Beautifully played there from the Ruby side. Once again, it's surprising. Definitely the right move to make. They're now going to be up 5-1. Might send Fluffy Gangsters down a little bit. Trying something different, of course, here. The Fluffy Gangsters side. Moving towards the A side a little more. The entry originally found after that rotation skull, because usually Fluffy Gangsters instantly go somewhere else. They try to, but probably taking a little bit too long in order to get that done. The mid lure getting checked and the A side not even taken over before Swing came through already. This is a headshot. Should be found from Solby. Tries to go for a second. Well, up close. Still sees Sowalio trying to jump up, make a play, but not before two of his friends have fallen. Crazy nut still on this map as A side is getting taken. Fluffy Gangsters abusing the A side now a little. Left open in the initial engagement, thinking they weren't going to approach it anymore. Definitely not the play to make. And the round will go the way of Fluffy Gangsters, so definitely not yet them completely falling away. As they are battling their hearts out, trying to keep a spot here in this game. Shot from Tasman, then eventually falls flat. Good round that has been taken. And with that great work done, you're certainly looking at a little bit of a small comeback piece. It's an opportunity to do it. Bottom of ramp, held by Fluffy Gangsters. Close up. Good fight from Sowalio. Linkero coming out with the trade. USPs. Desmond, of course, the only one with a rifle. He's getting beaten a little. Eventually found himself falling down. Linkero. Good work. It's been a stellar performance from Linkero coming out. Good shot from Yumiata. Left out. Ruby saving the AK and the M4. And so we're seeing Fluffy Gangster slowly but surely showing us why this map is a good one of them. And that is really something I also feel like Fluffy Gangsters really used in these type of maps, as Kaide keeps on going where he's left off. That is ridiculous from Kaide. They're really good at adaptation. They're really good at versatility in terms of what sort of strategies they're using. We've seen it various times as well. Anubis, a map that they really like, Ancient. It's not really a straight up bugger map, although it's required for you to have quite a bit of aim on your side as well. You need to hit your shots. There's definitely an aspect involved into the faking aspect, the utility aspect, but at the same time, the surprise effect that you can go for, right? Not approaching A almost every single time. Ruby starts adapting, playing A side retake most of the time. And Fluffy Youngsters tries going A quite fast, which is where Ruby comes into play and still shuts them down. That was eventually the round that Ruby took back, which was 5-1. Now Fluffy Gangsters going towards the A side every single time ever since, and now Ruby starts adapting. But because they're with two there, the flashes do a lot of damage. This is where a trade needs to come out, and eventually it's fallen. If that trade came in sooner, perfect play from Fluffy Gangsters. Adaptation over adaptation, but so did Ruby. Which is why they're ready for this one. Swing from Kaide doesn't seem to miss, but this one is not good for the kill. Solby out with his knife, gets taken by Forkies, who was watching the B side still. The bomb has been taken possession of. With that, Yurmyata required to clutch things up with 24 points of health. Might not have the resources to do so. Most certainly trying. But No bomb to work with. Tasman. Gonna try and join his mate there on the bottom of the ramp. Going through, Yurmyata will be walking his way through, getting himself ready. Tasman. Oh no, gets taken away. Yurmyata trying to go for another one. Well, he's taken down. Round 6 goes the way of Ruby. With that, already a tied up half secured, bare minimum. Looking at the buy though from Fluffy Gangsters, they're still going for a fool's buy here. If they lose this one, they're even leading further consequences. That is not going to be great. And this one, like I said, the tactical aspect of this round is quite good. Ruby thinking, okay, they've tried going A slow various times. So what we're going to do, we're going to try to take the A players away to make sure and ensure that they're fair of it, potentially giving us an opportunity to push somewhere else. And a response from Fluffy Gangsters on the other side is, let's push fast, let's try and flash the players going for a push. That flash is not that great. With that, Ruby finds a 2-for-2 trade. So with the utility from Fluffy Gangsters thrown still, Ruby is able to manage. So there, that fight comes down to whoever has the best idea of what the opposing team is going to do, but both have an idea of what's supposed to happen in a round like that. There's so much thought going into it. Some people just think, yeah, these guys are just playing. But yeah, every time thinking about what needs to be done, what can be done about it. I can't show the ping of the players, but I can check what server they're playing on. They're playing on Swedish server, so I think it's manageable ping for Ruby. While Fluffy Gangster, of course, might have a little bit better ping. There was originally a technical pause. That one's now faded as everyone is back in the server for the side from Ruby. And looking at this, it is a buy, of course, from Fluffy Gangsters. You lose this one, you're facing an eco up next. So Ruby could lead 8-3 after the next full buy comes by from Fluffy Gangsters. So there's definitely a little bit of pressure put on them in this particular round. No one's seen towards the A side, but if you play your cards right, you've seen the shadow. Moon goes for the swing, misses out. Yurmyata finds the blow. Takanashi taken away by Sawalio, who goes right in for another. Having a chance to go for a third. Reload popped in. Sawalio shuts them all down. 1 for 1, they walk right into his crosshair. Even a second mag, a reload. That could just simply come out. That shouldn't be required. Or that shouldn't be a possibility, rather. But with that beautiful barrage, Fluffy Gangsters are the ones looking to fall flat on this first half. Still Solby doing some resilient play with the Tech 9. Seen him cross, Skyday has managed to see him fade away to the left-hand side. And Solby has also found himself a Galil, or a FAMAS rather. Close to the smoke, Solby will make noise, gets himself taken. Brilliant work there from Ruby. They're the ones finding 7, successfully taken. And now, the end of the half that is nearing. A pistol buy from Fluffy Gangsters, like mentioned. After that, we should start seeing them get a full buy in again. So maybe an 8-4 is realistic, but a 9-3 half is definitely in the realm of possibilities here. Like I said, this being mapped from Fluffy Gangsters. Next one being Nuke, a map that Fluffy Gangsters have not played. Playing with their coach, playing with, you know what I'm saying. It's all looking like a rough state previously with their coach thinking well, because the others were really top carrying. But now you're playing up against a Ruby that's also playing very good Counter-Strike. Gotta say though, this round, which originally looked like a pretty easy one, has actually became one where Ruby needs to be just a little bit aware of. Just that bit more ready. That is needed. Readiness. Bomb that has in fact gone down. Fluffy Gangsters that will try and go for the save here. Ruby doing so as well simultaneously. Both are trying to run right into each other. So Audio has seen Various there into the temple side, and with an AK still in his hand, you might want to try and take it away. They're not going to do that, ensuring that they will have a bye going into round 12, but a 7-4 scoreline is definitely one I didn't really suspect. Thought this was going to be an easy round for Ruby to take. They're the ones actually running away from it in the end. The Tech-9's overrunning on the T side, on the B side. And now a 7-5 also still in the realm of possibilities. All of a sudden, chance created for Fluffy Gangsters. One that they shouldn't have found. Forky's closed up in cave. Kaide that's ready. Ooh, also getting shot. Sorby walking through the smoke. Entry. That will not come out. Sorby seen. Moon. Shot away with the AWP. Double snack towards the mid side coming out. This is going to be a bloodbath there on the mid side. So Walio tries to force the issue. Up close Kaide. 1-for-1 trade coming out. No one flanking from middle though. Fluffy Gangsters thinking it was safe. Had to try and make a play. Linkiro might have been seen on the bomb here. But a spray from John is not that good. The M4 hit. Pulled out to USB, but to no avail. Tasman having to clutch it all up. Has an AK to his name and 2 to find. Steps heard in middle. Tasman made steps into window, then went silent. This bomb is going to go down on A. And he's going to have to go for the retake. Both looking to make their way right next to each other. But Takanashi is already able to find the kill. He's already able to control the pace and win the round for Fluffy Gangsters. What a cancellation of possibilities. Should have been a 9-3 or an 8-4. It's a 7-5. As Fluffy Gangsters took a round, shouldn't have been theirs. Insanity to see that pistol go the way it did. And now, Fluffy Gangsters even providing themselves with opportunity to take this game into a leading spot. We got to see how the pistol and such will go. And I'm surprised Linkiro's playing a good game. Previously, he was like, didn't want to say like full shock, but in some situations, really felt like he just didn't have the confidence to strike out. Now 8-8 against Ruby, one of the heavy hitting teams here in this competition. Both teams, of course, undergoing a rebuild, so it's in some way also not a problem that it's going not so great yet for the side from Ruby, but hey, Tesman and Forky's are the two together with Moon that aren't really doing the work. Moon, obviously, a very well-known player in the scene. Also, the off always really working, at least in the beginning days of Ruby. It was really player accelerating. Can't do it this time. Yurm Yata, the MVP from last tournament. It's brilliant work done. Finds Fluffy Gangsters on a 6th with a 7th short to follow. How are you going to stop this Prague if you are Ruby? Not too sure. Most certainly not on my bingo card to see this one getting tied up. It is something we're soon going to be faced. Soon going to be facing ourselves. What can I say? A tied round, but one looking to move their way across into A. Moon is getting a plant there on A. The bait and switch with him finding the plant. Takanashi can't deny it, but he's at least going to make sure that he will not get anything more. Oh, Azu's even pulled out. Jumps over the Taze. Doesn't get himself hit, but the plant's been found. So $600 to each and every player. Injected into their bank accounts. That will get Ruby forcing themselves into a tactical timeout. Now it's up to them to prove what they're worth here. A big backstory, of course, for the side from Ruby, right? I mean, a team that all of a sudden came from nothing, making it very fast and easy across through ESGA Advanced into ESL Challenger League. That's now all been a little bit slowed. And then once things didn't go well anymore, having to go for a rebuild, now bringing in Tasman and Forkies, but hasn't had the same result yet this tournament. They've been one game, it was incredible, then the other, it was just not there. It just didn't feel right. 3-2 in this current season. Win against Viperio, losing versus Alliance. Also 2-0 loss against Partisan. But still winning against both Verdant and Viperio, both in a reverse sweep style. So there's definitely something with Ruby that is still able to be gained. Maybe having to get themselves a little bit ready against the DAP's previous time is definitely going to help transferring in towards that better style of play. But yeah, there's just a little bit of confidence needed also for Forkies and Tasman. Feels like Kaide, Sovalio and Moon still got out every single time. That comes with experience as well, right? Bringing in youngsters is usually great in esports. Forky's only been 20 years old and Tasman 19. They just need to get those fly hours in. John waiting for the swing from long. Damage. No kill. Kaide find it. Finds himself a lovely frag there on John. And so Takanashi left standing in a 1 versus 5. Ruby is good for taking it. Bomb's gone down, looking to go off. And 8-7. Should be nicely found here for Ruby. Tasman checking into a wall with his knife out, now falling flat. Felt like he was vibing. He finds himself getting taken away and an AK pulled into the hands of Fluffy Gangsters. So if there's one thing you don't really want to do is give away a weapon to a guy with pistols there. And the one thing that was feared actually became a reality. So not the best, I feel like. Kind of want to make sure that doesn't happen. And earlier today, Adapts found themselves forfeit losing against Likings of Alliance. That matchup not played anymore. They're playing United 21 now, another competition. Hopefully it's worth for them to play that tournament instead of this one. But of course it gives them another loss and another game closer to potentially not being able to reach the playoffs even. It's all on the line. Kaide trying to create some space here towards the B side. That hasn't been found, but last 2 players being on B should soon actually be recognized by Moon. I don't think he's recognizing it all too well. John, if he peeks window, he's going to find Moon on his back. And that would be a great kill coming out. I don't think he's seen him. Nope. Hasn't seen any of it. And now, rotation from Yurmyata is going to come out. He's soon sneaking with his op. He finds this frag. The round is up. Whatever happened, if Moon would have found that kill, would have been a whole different story. But Yurmyata collects The Hopper puts a tight number on the board again. And with 8-8 on the scoreboard, still no forgiven that either team is really running away with this one at this point. It's been great thus far. Great game to watch. Close. Nice counter strike. Here comes the execute from Ruby. Fast selling it into the B side. Running and gunning. Speaking of a good counter strike, this one definitely not. Just a brawl into the site. 2 kills found. Now the spacing needs to be great. Tasman creates that space right in front of him. While Moon is waiting, the Op will swing, catching him. Yurmyot has found it and Moon left in the same situation as before. A 1 versus 2. Well, he can't deny anything. The Galil only did a dink. If he had an AK, different story, but Fluffy Gangsters leads going forward. First time. They're into a leading position now. It's always been Ruby taking the lead. It's always been Ruby having control. The Fluffy Gangsters is the one taking it away from them this time. Yuto into middle. Kaide running. Tech 9 out. First kill found. Could try and make it a second. John trades. Yurmyot on the A side. Ready with the up. Of course, a second. Why not from Yurmyota? For no reason. The IGL, or the IGL, the MVP from previous series. Because he's been insane on that big green. Getting impressive kill on Tasman the previous round. And now, finding the round-winning play as well. With Ruby on the brink of taking over. Fluffy Gangsters has successfully found it. A nuke. Looking like a map that is so good for Ruby, yet so bad for Fluffy Gangsters on paper. It's only better for Fluffy Gangster that they're still managing to hold on. Because otherwise, looking at that series, now they would have a little bit of a freebie to go for, right? They would have a free chance. You just take nuke and take it into a 2-0. If it's lost, you can still go to Anubis. Then you wouldn't have that second wild card. You wouldn't have had that second chance. That's something you'll be able to create for yourself. But we might have to manage against. Goes in smoke. High throwing Molly. That's 4 on top. 4 keys. The one finding an entry. Ruby in the meantime walking out of A. Slowly but surely taking space over the map. And acceleration. Worthwhile as John is going to have to let go. Nate opens things up. Gets Yurmyot into play. The off will connect. Kaide has fallen. With the bomb going down. Ruby has successfully managed to take control over the A side. Bomb plant wasn't able to be denied. Now looking at that retake. Fluffy Gangster doesn't dare to contest. Not going to go for this one anymore. So Ruby has successfully gotten away with it. A side seems to be a threat for both sides, really. And as soon as you're making the opposing team fearful about it, that's when things could start to get quite nicely out of control, or quite nicely in your hands. Linkito will die. And an MP9 anyway to work with, so wasn't the one on paper looking all too great to do work with that, of course, but still something to look out for. Because he goes for an MP9 again. Could have dropped over an M4 this time, so I guess I don't know if it was worth it. It would have been a mistake. Wouldn't have been on purpose to do so. No acceleration into B either, but I think they're waiting for the utility. And then start setting up just a smoke to block, maybe. Flashbang quickly sent through it. Flash the fake. Ruby completely resetting. Originally the plan was to go for a B exec, but with the presence from Fluffy Gangsters, with the util they possessed, thinking of it a little less easy. 2 players in cave, both stacking up forkies. Not gonna dare to peek in just yet. Might wait for the CTs to take initiative. Steps are heard as they're contesting middle. The op from Yurmiata isn't the one really connecting, just a flash. He's gonna have one guy rotate over. Now Takanashi left alone. Linkiro on it still. You force them to fall away from the B side a little bit. You force them away from this double boost. And soon, with the cave smoke fading, trouble is on the horizon. A double kill is required. And Takanashi will deliver. A double kill was required for Ruby, I meant to say. Eventually, no double is found. Linkiro still alive, and the shutdown on the B side continues. Linkiro still standing. And you're even going to be flanking through ramp, so there's no way you're going to be allowed to stay alive in this one. Kaide can hope and pray for the best to come, but Linkiro is already chasing him. Ready as ever, no time left to go for this one anymore, even if he wanted to. Linkiro has shut them down. And round 11 is found for Fluffy Gangsters. Yurmiata going out for the swing, missed the shot with the ARP. Ruby tries taking middle. I have an idea of where John is waiting. Also, there goes Takanashi. Trying to chip in and help out the Donut players, alleviating some of the pressure on their end. Still not really the capability to get that one done. Ruby starts to chug their way in to the B side themselves. There goes the utility. Ruby sets it up. Smoke short, smoke long. No one swinging. No flash to support us. Looks like Fluffy Gangsters doesn't even want to go for this one on paper. I wouldn't argue against it. Solby. A die to the hands of Forkies, who tries to line up a second. If you thought you had a chance in it, now you really don't. No way you're going to be setting up for this one. And Ruby has successfully been able to break Fluffy Gangsters there. Don't know what really happened, but I feel like Fluffy Gangsters were initially already going for a save after that 1-for-1 trade came out. And then in my eyes, it makes absolutely no sense to then send 2 players into cave going fishing. Otherwise, why would you leave the B side so much open? No one was even on long or short, just waiting. You don't even need, right? You don't even necessarily need to wait on the side or somewhere. You can just wait on long and short like deep end. You can play it on speedway. Making sure at least set up for a retake. Now it just felt like they were not on the same page. Look at the buy from Fluffy Gangsters going forward. 2 of them dying. Linkiro is going to buy a 5-7. The rest will force. You lose this one, you've 1.9k all of a sudden. And Ruby is going to have an easy chance to take themselves all the way up to 11. That's the stakes, and they're quite high like we know. But that puts so much pressure on this round in particular. They're going to do it. I mean, Are you going to go for another tactical time at your coach? At least he's set with what to do. Armor's getting bought. Utility's getting bought. There comes the first M4. There's the second. They're buying a lot of pressure put on this round specifically. And what do you do if you're Fluffy Gangsters? Are you going to go for a save buy? Or are you going to go for a save in case things fall apart quite soon? Or are you actually trying to force the issue with the M4s? Maybe put the 5.7 like here in a closed up position. Seems as if that's the play. Kill through the wall. Entry found from Sorby. Linkitto still up close though. 5.7 is huge on close range fights. And with that a trade gets found. Still, trade from Takanashi. Trying to stay hand in hand. But eventually, Ruby has one up in themselves. Making it a 2 versus 2. Yurmyata hurt across. Linkitto follows up close second. And potentially, it was a double play hurt, allowing for a bomb to go down on the B side with no one there. And do you save now if you're Fluffy Gangsters, or do you sell this 2 versus 2? That is the question still on our minds, but the flank should soon come out. Here comes Desmond, out with the kill. Linkitto has fallen. Surely the ARC can still deliver. Nope, not to be. Round will fall flat. It's a great entrance play. Ruby played that incredibly well, setting up a player into window, just knowing Fluffy Gangsters were playing their hand in hand, getting ready for everything, trading each other out, but also making sure they had the manpower still in order to show some leverage in this round. And then player all the way into window, trying to find out where the rotations were going for. Finding the B side completely open. The predictions made, not to be. Double kill with the nade to begin with. 27 kills, by the way, from Kaide coming out. He's played a ridiculous game thus far. Trying to continue on doing so. John with the missed shot goes for a no-scope. Misses it as well. Another ace for Kaide. That is ridiculous. What has this man eaten? I won it too. Absolutely godlike what Ruby is showing. And still, a turnaround of a lifetime. Everyone might have thought Fluffy Gangsters was going to run away with this one. But the Pandas aren't yet there. They had to close things out there to get themselves at least around for an overtime. But now, even facing the loss on their own map pick to begin with. Good entry from Kaide again, of course. He's going to go for this. Why not? He's hit everything that he can. Why would you not abuse it then? 2 players seen on A. Might leave Ruby to go for a B exec. Also considering they know one is still in window. Only Linkitto on the B side. Fully flashed. Now they know he's on CT, so side is completely open. 4 versus 4 retake for all the marbles. Linkitto already not aware of that push. A second volley forces Sorby in the open. Makes him fall. Not a swing. Just go for it. Why not just rush them down? You have the opportunity to. Various players unaware. Fluffy Gangsters have Yurmyata up for the clutch. If there's a player you want to clutch this one out, it is him. But a 1 versus 3 is definitely too much to ask. Looks as if this is a round of a lifetime. It is. Ruby takes the map. Takes it out of the hands of Fluffy Gangsters. And now we're going to a map which Ruby likes. And we're going to see what's going to happen. Second map of Nuke after the break. Ruby has made it into the second map with the 1-0 advantage. It looked as if they were going to do that from the get-go. Eventually, starting to catch up a little was the likings of Fluffy Gangsters. They made it close, but still weren't able to get it over the line. We've got ourselves a new team picture in Linkitto. Managed to find a picture of him as the coach with the jersey on from Fluffy Gangsters. But still, this map in particular has always been a pretty good one for the likings of Ruby, and has definitely always been one where most of the troubles have been for Fluffy Gangsters. They haven't played it all too much, and now starting off on that CT side, a great start is somewhat required, unless they will be falling down 2-0, and Ruby is going to take their 4th win of the season. So one way to find out, though, and that's to actually sell it into our game, and we're already seeing the pistol round fully roll by. Moon finds himself a kill on Yurmyata, was still going for a flank. And Kiro was known to be on the ramp side. And so an easy take. Ruby running their way down into the B side, finding the bomb plant, and the round is theirs. Easy cut. Yeah, we got it a little bit as well. Easy game. A fair and square beginning. A buy here from Fluffy Gangsters coming out with the Deagle armor. Now things are being done, though. Solby tries to go aggressive, of course, through the ramp site. John is waiting. Above on main is Forkies. So walking their way down, Ruby just walks down secret. A fake from Forky's Cold while John should be taken away. Takes too long though to find him. 2 kills are found, and also some lobby aggression will come out as a result for Fluffy Gangsters. So feeling like they can find themselves a little bit of a chip in. Does look as if troubles are still on the horizon. Sovalio gets across and finds here on the side. Takanashi's been taken away. Goes for another. Sovalio do it all by himself, but now gets himself shut down. Lead into a 2 versus 2. That smoke not creating the path that they're looking for. Solby seen taking Yurmyata. Ruby the one to fall down. Oh my goodness. Ruby loses against pistol armor. Fluffy Gangsters accelerating at all ends. And taking space when not necessarily granted. You saw that lobby aggression. Wasn't really working out, but from main, an unknown prospect. From door, an unknown prospect. And Ruby, that was caught sleeping a little, I feel like, at times. Not able to get the bomb down the way they wanted to. And here we are, finding ourselves all the way tied up again. Right into A. Also, Alio beautifully done. Entry will be found. Opening their way in. Bomb plant has been secured. Great stuff from Ruby. Finding M4s. 2 Galil still in the play. With the SMGs, they're going to have to try and play that fast style of Counter-Strike. That is exactly what they've managed to do. That smoke, not too good though. Send in, falling down, and Giro blinded by his own teammate's flash. So no chance to find that kill. Still, Galil out from Yurmyata that does the job. So Valio gets himself blown away. And they do have a kit available. John goes for the full 10-second defuse. Yurmyata has a kit, but the time is still there to get the defuse out. So nothing to worry about. Fluffy Gangsters finding themselves that round with a little bit of luck, I feel, on their side as well. It shouldn't have necessarily been their round, a 3 versus 3 there. When Ruby, the beginning, playing very much together, like a team, like a compact, full sort of war force. But as soon as the retake came out, it was all 1 versus 1 fights. Maybe that's the reason for calling in tactical time on Pred EG. That will try and get his team to once more be there with each other. Play like a team. Cohesive. Like it should. And although it's still the T side of the map of Nuke, you kind of want to find yourself a dominant position here. Just like I said, with the statistics and all, Fluffy Gangsters have not played Nuke singular time this season. Of Exort series yet. They might have played it in some other events left, right and center, but ultimately his lineup is still young. And then looking at for example, their coach and always the changes that are made, no highness in the team. Their Nuke usually not being that good as well. But it's usually been 64% on the CT side. Only 37 on T. So a real big difference in that regard, where Fluffy Gangsters can't get anything going on the T side most of the time. Forkies looking to swing in from behind. John, I don't think he's going to be aware of this, so should be able to get a freebie, maybe a knife. Just goes for the shot instead. Weapon picked up, entry found. Now Sorby might be in a tough position, accelerating towards outside. Still Secret also being cleared, but gets timing Kaide. Not happy about that one for sure. So Secret being cleared, A-side can all of a sudden be challenged. It's only Sorby there in main, waiting for the potential cross. Well, as well, Linkiro moves his way down. Ooh, up close. Tasman will be taken, of course, by the Vent player, but I think both of them are hurt now. Ruby can take space over the A side. What a round is this from Ruby? A back and forth switch, a third time in a row. And Forkies that got so advanced so soon. Got a kill under heaven. Has actually made it into a 3-piece. Which catches Ruby, or Fluffy Gangsters rather, completely by surprise. They're the ones losing against 5 pistols without any armor. If you would have told me that before this round came by, I would have started laughing at you. But now we're seeing it with our own eyes. Ruby that has successfully been able to take their second round of this game.
Terrorists win.
Against legitimately full rifles with no armor to work with themselves. That is called ridiculous in my ears. But hey, taking a second and taking a quick appearance here on this map was something we had expected from the start. So it's not like it's coming as a surprise for us. Or it's like the way it happened, right? It should have been a 3-1 and Ruby probably accelerating. But now this is seeming to be a little bit too much on the cards most of the time. John goes aggressive outside. Guy, they fully flash. So does John, but he's trying to move his way around. Will the stabs be heard of him going down Secret? John really thought he was doing the right thing, but that's his opponent cross. Which is where problems could start coming into play. Don't know how much further Kaide is going to go. With him taking this significant space, a fight from Sawalio. Start coming out. Sorby has fallen. John, good on the trade. So a decent kill from Fluffy Gangsters that will look to come out. As they're trying to hold on to this execute. Maybe a fake down B could be shown. There is your Secret player falling. Might allow you to go back up A. Usually an A player that goes all the way outside. And now gets blown away. Opens up the A side completely. 5-7 from the heavens. Is not going to make the difference. And with that, Ruby successfully taking the A side. Planting the bomb away. Linkiro all of a sudden having to clutch it up with an MP9. Holding the line. Forkies first on the trigger. Good cross-set placement. Head armor to play again. So a double dink was needed. Or just a spray. Makes it happen. Makes it worthwhile. Ruby leading 3-2. Now forcing the opposition into an eco. And that being on the CD side of things for Fluffy Gangsters. Now things are starting to snap. It was the hold on in the beginning, right? It was the beginning that was still quite great coming out from this side of Ruby. But now, or from Fluffy Gangsters, but as soon as things are starting to fall apart, you can see that it's spiraling out of control real fast. And I don't know if this is something that are going to be able to get themselves out of, but that is something we're going to have to figure out. Kaide. Awkward spray though. Taken is Takanashi still. There's the molly. Sorby was going to die there for sure. There was no way he was going to stay alive in that fight. Another Mac 10 kill coming out. Kaide trying to go for a third. Try and help while Forkies has obviously helped him with it. Couldn't find a third kill yet. Your position tries to save. Fluffy Gangsters try to save, but they bait Tasman into giving his AK over. So that is a significant fight. A pretty good player has just been taken away. And with that, Ruby has managed to find themselves a fourth.
Terrorists win.
Now a fast push for Ruby. If they can break Fluffy Gangsters, they gotta do it right. They want to break him. They can do it with a push like this. Finally a full buy for Fluffy Gangsters. They thought they had a breeze of success, but in fact, everything started to fall apart. Still, I don't know how Linkito got that fast with Kaide watching from above. Apparently not watching it enough, and now the site taken over from Ruby. Been successful in that engagement. With them successfully taking this round as well, you can start seeing Fluffy Gangsters feel really weak. They know that they can have him this way, and that is why they're doing this. I really like the approach. Might not seem like a big thing necessarily, right? I mean, you guys might be wondering, what's this guy talking about? But the thing we're seeing here, and we're seeing it time and time again, Ruby is able to outsmart the Fluffy Gangsters side in the way they're approaching this, right? Again, Fluffy Gangsters, no, they're not the best team on Nuke, and stabilizing while having a full buy, thinking they're going to have the freedom to play just a little bit better while being beaten away quite some time already. Then Ruby tries to rub salt into the wound, extends even further, goes aggressive as soon as they're trying to stabilize. Nothing goes the way of Fluffy Gangster. This was obviously an armor pistol buy, so still somewhat okay that you're losing it one out. Still, it's just not making it any better for you. Fight still from Takanashi coming out. That is a decent fight. With the bomb going down. Retake opportunity. Still technically up for Takanashi, but he's made his way down. Tries to save. And going for that next round. Be the smartest you can go about it. But there Takanashi still falling. Won't make it any better. Round 6 is found for Ruby. They've successfully managed to take himself into an on and beyond position. Question remains whether or not they can take this one with them. Continue to have to fight over much more. Fight from Solby to begin with. That's a good opener for Fluffy Gangsters coming out, finds an AK. A little bit too much now, I feel like, as well. That's been chucked their way. Feeling they can easily overrun them at points. Taking time. But still, fully, of course, going the way they want to. Great shot from Moon. Finds Linkito. Advantageous position for Fluffy Gangsters found. Where do you go now if you're Ruby? All of the players are really split around, right? So they're really trying to find an entry somewhere. Need to find the cohesion to go together, and that would be one guy go in heaven, up the vent, with Moon trying to make space towards the A side from a front. With that kill, you could. Or are they going ramp to B? Because no one needs to go up the vent if the flank from ramp is executed well. Or is Moon just accelerating? Wow, that is crazy. Great play there from Moon, but still a player to be dealt with. Yata is very advanced. All the way close. Hiding in the corner. Moon is trying to clear him. And so, Yata, that does the work with the op. A double found. That's absolutely ridiculous coming out. You'll most certainly start pulling them away again. Start putting me in. I can really do to stop this. Yeah, I think it's just all about the team play. I feel like last round, giving away that entry so easily, it's all just a little bit too much at times that they're going for. And that is probably usually like their weapon. Nothing can go wrong, but it's also a tough situation in case things do go the wrong way. In case things do fall apart, you gotta be careful that that is a possibility to happen. Ruby, ready to start chugging and execute towards the A side or move outside with the smokes. Solby hasn't been seen to cross. Or potentially he has, and Sawali just didn't fire a bullet, giving enough time for the outside players to move their way in. Kaide needs the entry. He was already down to so many kills on the map of Ancient. Now, baiting Yata into a further swing, gives Forkies the room to fire. Ruby managed to find himself a little bit of work while having to go for a little more. Linkito, another shot on Moon, connecting with the MP9. And a 7th should very well be found here from the Ruby side. All the axe put into the Ruby ball pit. With the bomb slowly going off, this is where things are going to start to get dicey. Fluffy Gangsters have gotten barely anything to offer here. They won that one round, which gave them some hope. With Ruby overextending, then Ruby goes back to safe and secure play. You see what comes from it. Ultimate devastation afterwards again. Still, no problem just yet, if you ask me. It's not going to be like it's impossible for the Fluffy Gangsters, but next few full buy rounds are really going to have to start falling into place, and relatively soon, I feel like, in case you want this to go to your side once more. And a fast A play can definitely stop all your hopes and dreams again. Just a way of executing any sort of hope you have left. They're going down B instead. Yata that needs to step up. Previously did that with the op, but that was in a post plant. That was in some sort of a retake. Now he's going to have to do it up front. Takanashi will fall. Linkito up close. Readied up. 65, but ready around the corner. Bomb doesn't go down just yet, and that will allow Fluffy Gangsters to start setting up nicely. Single door opening any second, giving Kaide a shot. Kill gets found, looking for another. Linkito to the edge, swinging through. There's the AK, finding it. Round 8 for Ruby. He's going to find a lot of room. Now it's starting to become more on the impossible type of side. And I don't want to, bash them down or anything, but now it's starting to become quite troublesome if you ask me. Door gets naded open, player seen, so Walio up close, again Ruby, a little bit too much, towards outside, instantly dropping. Together you're pushing A, it might be a little bit better, you're going together outside, or even Rem for damn sake. It is all better than this like single outside play type of style. Solby waiting on the edge. A peak that could be ready. That is ready. And the tap to finish it off. Finishes it off in style. An 8-4. Half going into the flip. With Ruby still going to the most favorite side on the entire, I was going to say planet, but that's not how fast it is. But at least looking very good. Very fast. In general, just a great way of approaching things. So setting ourselves up for a second half where Ruby could instantly shut things down. Pistol round would seal the deal, I feel like. We put them so far ahead and on the CT side that it's going to be very hard to find your way around. And the double kill to begin with is huge with that. There's Desmond out with a fight. 5 players alive still for Ruby. No way for Fluffy Gangsters to get themselves in. No fights one towards outside nor the A side. And that means Ruby moves ahead to their 9th. Buy from Fluffy Gangsters. That won't come out. So we're looking at a double-digit number. But are they actually buying? Okay, I was about to say, like, just saying F it and go for a buy now is definitely not the way to approach this. Closed up, Shide comes out to find John. Linkito, good for a trade, but it's just a Glock doing the work. Picks up an MP9, so still not really making it all too nice. Here the spray to comply. 4 players alive, Ruby onto 10. This is where things are going to have to start falling into place. I've said things before like this, but this is what it is. In case it doesn't. Slowly taking Ram, fight from the CTs, Ruby. Oh, they tried to sell it. Completely pushing main, or lobby rather. And Fluffy Gangsters just trying to set up nicely, gets a flash blown in their face, get everything blown into their face. And there we have 11 for Ruby. You're thinking, okay, we have a full buy again, we can start setting up. And it isn't anything for the Fluffy Gangsters here. Ooh, moving up the ladder. Yeah, that's when Yurmdata could start tapping. Managed to find it. Moon has fallen. And this is really good Ruby. Like, I mean, we expected a little worse Fluffy Gangsters on this map in particular, just considering they didn't play it yet. I would have suggested them banning Nuke against Ruby originally, but I felt like they were also thinking that they're gonna take Ancient easily, and that wasn't meant to be. So already losing that one with being up quite far, actually having it in the palm of your hands, but then losing out, already sets you up for a nuke that is supposed to fail. It's already setting yourself up for failure, kind of. Let's hope there's still something left in the tank. Double kill to begin with. That is at least a good find. Advantageous position for Fluffy Gangsters. Trade from Sawalio, Tasman. Going all the way through and gets himself ready. Blows the head of Linkero. With the bomb going down, Ruby not daring to go for this. We'll start looking around for Fluffy Gangsters. Managed to find it. Taking it nicely in their hands, as they have it in the palm of their hands. Does look as if Fluffy Gangsters at least want to show something. To show something back. What is it? When will it start to shine? Those Forkies looks to find Linkero. Damage. No kill. Nothing going his way just yet. Waiting to make a play outside. Getting smoked off. Moon originally holding it all by himself here with the op. He's watching from secret. John should not be in too good of a spot, but the op isn't watching at him, so he gets a freebie with it. Forky's rotating down as Fluffy Gangsters tries to take space relatively quickly. All three are on the ramp, now walking their way down. Forky's up close, still looking to mow him down. Headshot found with the AK, yet another doesn't come out. Door could swing wide open. Sawalio a chance, swings right in, make it a second. That is insane for Ruby. 12 gets found insanely quickly for Ruby. Felt like Fluffy Gangsters was still going to be able to take at least a few more rounds, make it somewhat more competitive. But it won't even be happening. Maybe a 13-5 that comes through. And Ruby showing us why you should be feared on them. And you should be feared by them on this map of Nuke. It's been a map they've played this season already quite a few times. Got the statistics here. They played it 4 times, winning it 3 times. They lost against Partisan, but that was their first game, probably after their rework. First game of the season. Then they won against Viperio, they won against Verdant, they won against Adapts. All on the map of Nuke. Now we're gonna add Fluffy Gangsters to that statistic. As it looks done. 13-5. Or a 2 versus 4. No M4 kill just yet, so Moon sent to Sky. Yuriata still accelerating towards outside. I guess that double could make it a little better. But Still, you get a break Sowalio. He's not easily broken. Yurmyata will be heard dropping, so Forkies has a chance to lean into that B side and play this one for a retake. Doesn't make steps to walk down, so it should still be a relatively easy kill unless he has to swing open a single. That's exactly what happens. Now he knows where he is. Flashbang, another bait, another tap, another spray. Ruby takes the game, 13-5. They take it 2-0 here against Fluffy Gangsters, moving themselves up to have their 4th win of the season. Fluffy Gangsters to the 2-2 part. They've not been able to find their momentum. Hopefully, they don't get to play with their coach, or Linkero wants to join the team for real, and they're going to have a chance to play that next time. But for now, we're dropping it into a break. When we return, it's going to be in 4.5 hours with the next game of today. It will be, if I'm not mistaken, the game between Verdant and Viperio. So we'll see you guys back in about 6.5 or 4.5 hours with a different caster. But Ruby takes this 2-0. They're going to be in a sweet spot right now. Let's hope they're continuing this form because it's been a breeze watching them. I hope you enjoyed. My name is Jesse, your Dutch boy, and hope to see you next time. Ciao, ciao.